Hey, Mike. What? Who's got next?
Son of a bitch.
I'm pissed, man. I'm pissed. Forget about the intro. I don't care about that shit right now. I'm so pissed after this game that I just watched between the Hawks and Hornets. It was completely embarrassing. Be sure to subscribe to the channel if you are new. Leave a like on the video. Let's see if we can get to 600 subs by the end of this month. That's about another week or so. I know y'all can get me there, so I greatly hope and appreciate all the help and support y'all can give me. And let's get right into it. Man, I really don't even know where to start with this game. I mean, when you look at this Hornets team, no LaMelo, no Terry Rozier. I think there were, who else were they missing? I don't even remember who the third person they was missing, but either way, that's besides the point. They were missing their starting backcourt, and Atlanta just gets blown off their own fucking floor by, 20 points or whatever it was. And early on in this game, it really looked like Atlanta was about to blow them out the water. And then Trae gets into foul trouble, and then all of a sudden, Hornets go on a run and just did not look back for the rest of the game. And I just don't understand it. I don't understand how you drop a game like this to this G League ass Hornets team. It's embarrassing. It is embarrassing. DeJounte had too many turnovers. He has got to clean it up. I said that in my last video. Turnovers are killing this team. Turnovers and missed shots. I know we're 2-1 now and we won the first 2 games, but if y'all actually watched those first 2 games, it was not great games for this Hawks team. There were so many things to pick out to say that it was not a good performance, but just because it was against bad teams, that's why they ended up pulling it out. If we play like this against contenders like Milwaukee and other teams, we are not going to be able to hang with them. Look at the way Boston's playing. Let's talk about the defense for a second. The defense again tonight was absolutely atrocious. 37 points in the second quarter they gave up to Charlotte. 45 points in the third quarter they gave up. Kelly Oubre was getting whatever he wanted. Nick Richards was just owning Clint Capela. It was hard to watch after how great not really great, but how good they played defensively in the first 2 games. And just the lack of effort. The paint defense was absolutely atrocious. Guys were getting whatever they wanted. And it really was hard to watch. I want to talk about Clint Capela for a second. I think he needs to go. Clint Capela is now a shell of himself. He is the worst offensive center in the NBA. He cannot finish around the basket other than on an alley-oop, dunk, or layup. Every time he gets an offensive rebound, he puts it back up and it's an air ball. He airballs layups. Clint Capela is a shell of himself. I think at this point, at this stage, Onyeka Okongwu is a better player and a better fit for this team. I think Clint Capela needs to look to move by the deadline or maybe next offseason. When you're getting dogged by Nick Richards, who's essentially really is a G League player. I mean, he averages 3 points a game for his career. That's unacceptable. Unacceptable. John Collins really struggled. Shot 0 for 7 from 3. DeAndre Hunter struggled. Trae kind of struggled once again. And listen, man, I'm gonna try and say this as nice as possible. Y'all gotta stop defending Trae. I love Trae. Trae's one of my favorite players. He's my favorite player on this team. I'm a diehard Hawks fan. But stop defending Trae, saying he's not settling for jump shots. When you are shooting 30-foot threes, when there's 15 seconds left on the shot clock, that's not a good shot. Regardless if he makes or misses it, it doesn't make it a good shot. He's not playing well. He's turning the ball over. Yes, he's had 13 assists in the first 2 games. That doesn't make it a good game. He's constantly turning the ball over. He's making bad decisions. He's not shooting well. Stop defending Trae saying he's playing well. He's not. Trae is struggling. And you have to be blind to see that this is not the same Trae Young that we had last season. Now, I'm not going to say that he's not going to figure out, because I'm very confident that Trae is going to get it going. He's going to find his rhythm and he's going to figure it out. But Trae is not playing well. He's not shooting well. DeJounte Murray, it's not even that him and DeJounte aren't meshing, because they're actually playing relatively well together, but they're not shooting well. This team has missed so many shots. They're not shooting the ball well from 3. The bench is absolutely atrocious. The bench is really missing Bogdanovich, man. They really are. Justin Holiday's not it. I don't understand at what point is this dude gonna stop shooting. They kept running plays for him off of screens to get him open looks, and he was like 1 for 7 from 3. Bro, you gotta stop shooting. A lot of this is on Nate McMillan, man. He did not make one adjustment through the entire game. Not one. I'm sitting here watching, I'm thinking, at what point, with the way the offense is struggling, at what point is AJ Griffin gonna come into the game so that he can space the floor, who you know is a shooter? He's a knockdown shooter. He had 2 excellent preseason games. He's shown that he can shoot the basketball when your bench is not being productive. Jalen Johnson does not fit with this team. He doesn't space the floor. They need floor spacing on their bench. When the bench unit is being run by DeJounte Murray, you have to surround him with shooters. Okongwu's not a floor spacer. DeJounte Murray is not a floor spacer. That's now 2 players in your bench unit that do not space the floor. You have to put AJ Griffin into this rotation. It only took them down 20 in the 4th quarter for him to finally get into the game, and then he hits his first shot and then comes in off a transition layup and makes that as well. Has 5 points in 5 minutes and then gets taken out of the game. Nate McMillan is a big problem right now because he's not making adjustments. He's sticking with the same exact rotation that is not working. Yes, they won the first 2 games. I get all that, but they're against 2 teams that are not good teams in games that were relatively close that should not be close. This game should not have been close from the jump. They should have blown this Hornets team out the water with the amount of talent that's on the Hawks and the amount of talent that's on the Hornets. I want to go back to Trae Young just for a moment before I get into my final takeaways and final points for this game. Before y'all come at me in the comments to say that I'm turning on Trae, I am not, man. I love Trae. Trae is one of my favorite players, but y'all gotta start holding him accountable and stop giving him a pass. Trae is not playing good basketball. When you're settling and shooting 30-foot threes constantly, those are not good shots. He did a little bit better job tonight of getting to the rim and attacking the rim and getting to his floater, but we need to see more of that. That's what sets up those alleys and everything and those assists. All that, when he can get into the paint and draw in defenders and then kick it out to open shooters, that's really where Trae is most effective. So whenever he's coming down and shooting when there's 10, 11, 12 seconds on the shot clock and setting for a deep 3, that's not a good shot, man. I love Trae, but y'all gotta stop acting like Trae does no wrong. I'm confident Trae's gonna get it going. Within the next couple games, I'm very confident he's gonna have a breakout game and drop 40 and shoot very efficiently, and that's all he's gonna need to get going. He's gonna get his legs under him. It's early in the season, man. I'm trying not to overreact. This game was just extremely frustrating, and now we gotta go on a 5-game road trip, which is gonna be very tough. Back-to-back games in Detroit and then go to Milwaukee, and then the next 2 games I can't really remember what they are, but the next 5 games are on the road. So after this 3-game homestand that we just had, went 2-1, should have went 3-0, now got to go on the road for 5 games. It's going to be tough. It's going to be tough, and the way that they're playing right now, there's no guarantee that they're going to beat Detroit both of these games, because Detroit is a young athletic team that gets out in transition and has a big guard in Kate Cunningham and has nice young players that are hungry. So my final takes of this game, take number 1 is Nate McMillan. I've already touched on that, the 0 adjustments. I feel like that has to be known, that has to be said, and that has to be out there. Hopefully we'll see, some changes on Wednesday. Point number 2, the paint defense. Absolutely atrocious. I touched on that a little bit. They were blocking some shots and everything, but guys were just getting hit with backdoor cuts, just constantly getting hit with cuts to the basket, and were just not paying attention. Paint defense was atrocious. I think Charlotte finished with over 50, maybe 60 points in the paint, which to me is just unacceptable for when you have not two rim protectors, but a rim protector that's supposed to be in Clint Capela. Point number 3, the shooting. The shooting has just not been there. Really just all 3 of these games. I mean, John Collins has had really the first 2 games he shot very efficiently from 3, but that's really about it. He really struggled this game. Dre struggled this game. Trae struggled this game from 3. DeJounte, I think, did hit 2 threes, but he was like 2 for 5, which still is actually pretty good. But other than that, they just have no floor spacing. Justin Holiday has been irrelevant. Aaron Holiday has been irrelevant. Jalen Johnson has been irrelevant, which leads me to my next point. In the bench. The bench has to be better. If we're going to go in anything, I feel like I'm a fucking broken record just repeating the same thing, but this is what I have to do to get the point across. The bench has been bad. I really hope AJ Griffin sees some minutes next couple games early in the rotation to get that floor spacing back from the bench. Pray and Bogey comes back relatively soon, within the next week or so, but we'll see. I'm gonna pretty much leave it there, man. Very sorry for this rant. I know I seem pissed off because I am, and I apologize for that, but this this was just a very frustrating loss. Let me know what y'all thoughts down in the comments. Did you watch this game? What are y'all overall takeaways from it? Leave a like on the video, and I will catch y'all next episode.